In this video, I'll be showing you how to play Wraith to her maximum potential.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out!
A lot of the people who watch me aren't subscribed. You probably are, but if you could scroll down and check that you still are, that would be helpful, because YouTube unsubscribes you. It only takes 5 seconds to check. Okay, I'm guessing you've done it now. So that's enough talking. Let's get into today's video. Hey, it's T-Show here. So as we know, the devs have tried to nerf Wraith into the ground, but even so, she still is a very good character. Not the best, but still good though. So the most important way to play Wraith to her best is to leave the game immediately after getting down. I'm only joking, that's not the best way. It's probably like the third or fourth. But anyways, the real best way to play as Wraith is to make sure at all times you have cover nearby. Having cover nearby allows you to have a get out of jail free card. The reason you want to be using cover is because Wraith's phase takes just over 1.2 seconds in game time. We all know how long that is. Yes, I know cover won't always be there, but there's a smart way to know nearly every time when to phase. I call it the 3 phase rule. When playing a high skilled character, you need to have set rules. For Gibraltar, there's set rules for when you should throw down bubbles, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. We're just talking about Wraith. So when playing Wraith, you need to have a set rules of things you will and won't do. Because Wraith has a lot of tools in her arsenal, so you need to have a set rules that you won't cross. By doing this, you won't panic in difficult situations, and it allows you to make faster decisions in tough situations. Because I know you've been in tough situations saying, oh, should I do it, should I not? If you have these set rules, you'll know instantly to do it, and it saves time. Imagine being in the last ring and you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I should make a pull. Look, here are the rules of what you should do and shouldn't do. It's just 3 rules, so it's not hard. Just listen up, alright? So the 3 rules to the 3 phase rule is rule number 1. If you see or hear more than one person near you, phase out. When I say here, that includes Wraith's passive. If someone has a Kraber and I'm in the open trying to rotate to zone, I'm not taking any chances, I'm going to phase. Rule number 2. If your health is dropping quick or you have less than 70 HP, phase out and get safe. Because 70 HP, if you get hit with anything, you're dead, basically. But it's not going to be easy to tell if your health is exactly 70 HP, obviously, especially if an intense fight. So if you're on max health and your health drops 3/4 of your health, you need to phase out. Don't gamble your life. This game is a battle royale. The aim of the game is to survive, not gamble. However, some situations you may have to gamble to win the game, but majority of the time, you don't want to gamble. Rule number 3. If in a position where the odds are not in your favor, or what that means is, if the odds of you winning is low, phase out. What this rule means is, we've all been in a situation where we aren't in the best of positions or not in a comfortable position to take a fight and win it. So if you ever see an enemy and you're in a very uncomfortable position, phase out. No hesitation. Remember, we're not playing the game to gamble, we're playing to what? Playing to win. Come on, let's go. So I really have 4 rules, but the 4th one is optional. I didn't want to make it too tough for you guys, so I just had 4. But no, I only had 3, sorry. I don't want to make it hard for you guys, I only have 3 rules. But if you want to play to high level, if I was you, come close, listen. Alright, so the 4th rule. The 4th rule is optional, just remember that it's optional. You do not have to do this one. The 4th is to never engage in a fight without your phase, unless you absolutely have to. So the examples of somewhere you absolutely have to, if you see your teammates are getting absolutely destroyed and you're on low health, yeah, you could peek around the corner, get a couple shots, but just make sure. So the examples of where you would probably absolutely have to is, say your teammates are getting absolutely destroyed and they need some cover fire or they need backup. Yeah, you can peek your head around the corner, but just look at the counter. If it's when it gets around about 3, fair enough. You can go out there and try and do some damage, but yeah, if your phase isn't up, because the cooldown is quite short, so that's why I have this 4th rule. But sometimes you may have to just forget about the cooldown because something important might happen, or say you're getting attacked on a rotation, well, you don't have time to wait. So there's different situations. So yeah, so the reason for the 4th rule is because we've established these rules to play to our best. But if we don't have a phase anymore, then we're relying on us being better than our enemy, which is gambling. And you know how I feel about gambling. If you forgot, then just rewind the video a bit and you'll know how I feel about gambling. So with the 3 phase rule, you can use the phase anytime you feel like. For example, so there's the 3 phase rule, but you can use the phase anytime you feel like. So with the 3 phase rule, there's no limit to how many phases you can use. I'm saying in these 3 situations, well, there's really 4, but in these situations, these are the times you want to phase out or protect yourself. You can phase anytime you want to, but these are the 4 ways, these are the 4 times, circumstances that you should definitely phase. Well, the 4th one wasn't really, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, so don't be smart in the comments now. But anyways, so as I was saying, you can phase anytime you feel like it. For example, if you feel like you're going to die in the zone, you can phase. I'm just saying the most common ones you will come across, and the most important ones are these. So let's move away from the rules now. Let's talk about the guns you should be running. I know what you're thinking. You think you probably know the best guns, but just listen, just cool down. Move away from your mouse. Just cool down, listen. So the best guns you should be running playing Wraith is the R99 and Wingman. I know what you thought. You thought I was gonna say R99, R99 and the Mastiff. Nope. That gun's trash now. We need to move on to the new stuff. You hear me? The new stuff. Alright. So as I was saying, the R99 and Wingman. The reason why is because the Mastiff isn't as good anymore. Some of you might disagree, but we don't care. Alright. So as I'm saying, the R99 and Wingman are currently the 2 best weapons, as now the Wingman can carry more ammo in the clip, so you'll be able to do more damage from long range, and you can use the 99 to clean up. And if it gets too dangerous close range, you can phase out with the 3 phase. So you see how everything comes together now. If you stick to this plan, trust me, you will be the best Wraith. You don't believe me? Try it out for yourself. So the reason I'm telling you to run the 99 and Wingman is because if you remember before, I told you to utilize cover, and the Wingman with cover is dangerous, especially with the Wingman buff. And when you do enough damage, you can push them with your 99 and finish them off quickly. But this is me assuming you have good aim with the Wingman, which you will need to improve on that by yourself. In Apex Legends, there's a high possibility you won't get this combo in the start of the game. So the second best combo to run with Wraith is the 301 and the Eva. This allows you to get entry damage, which means you get to know roughly what the health is, and you can weaken them up and force them to start panicking. And even sometimes force them to make tons of mistakes, which usually happens with the 301. And now with the Eva, you can do a quick cleanup because the Eva does already quite a bit of damage. I think the Eva does more damage with 1 shot, assuming that you hit like your shots properly. For 1 shot, it hits more than the Mastiff. So that's for me, that's what's been happening. But for you, it might be a different story. But yeah. So from watching a lot of people play, I've come to the conclusion that people have no clue when or how to portal effectively. There are different situations and ways to portal. So the common portal one that everyone understands is if their teammate goes down, they'll go and portal to them, revive them. Everyone understands that one. That one's been there since season 1 coming out. Everyone gets that one. But the ones that people don't understand, so let me say the advanced one and then I'll break it down for the simpler versions. So the advanced one that people don't understand is when you open a portal, it's roughly the same amount of time it takes to phase. So what you want to do is you want to open a portal and then phase at the same time. So you can apply this what I'm telling you right now to the 3 phase rule, and it can get you a further distance in a shorter space of time. because remember you got the speed boost with the phase. So as I was saying, so when you open the portal and phase, it takes roughly the same time, and activating the portal then phasing first allows you to move further and quicker. Another way to use the portal, so this is the simple way to use the portal, so let me make it simpler for you. You still won't probably know this, but this is a simple way to understand it, because I know some of you are slow and then you start putting silly stuff in the comments. I don't mind you guys commenting, but if I've already said it in the video, don't be commenting in the video again. So just watch the video from beginning to end. So anyways, as I was saying, so another way to use your portal is to use it defensively and offensively. So the way to use it defensively is if your team is in a bad situation and you're with them, you can portal past the enemies or anywhere that is safe to help the team move into a safer location, or in a location where the chance of them winning the fight is increased. So for example, say you're in bunker and in one of the rooms and you're trapped both sides. If you have a Wraith, you're in a very good situation, because the Wraith can portal you from in that room outside of the bunker, and now you have a team versus team. But then don't forget that another team will be in the bunker, but that increases your chance of winning because now you're not playing piggy in the middle. So now you're doing a fair fight, which you probably have the jump on them because you can put your portal in a good place to win the fight. Or even if you don't want to fight and use it as an actual full-on defensive portal, you can use a defensive portal to get yourself out and run away from the fight. Because say like you're lower on health or something, you can get out of the fight like that. But the offensive portal is what all pro players use. All pro players use an offensive portal all the time. Every time I'm watching a pro scrim, tournament, wherever it is, I always see pro players use an offensive portal when they're playing Wraith. So what an offensive portal is, so say you hear an enemy team fighting or you just hear an enemy team doing something, what a Wraith will do is make a portal in a safe location. So they'll start the portal in a safe location, usually off the ground if they're trying to go for a kidnap, but I'll get into that into a second. So they'll start the portal in a safe location, then they'll try and portal to another safe location that's really close to the enemies. And what they'll do, they'll try and kill the enemy team, but if they can't, they'll portal out. If the enemies try to chase them, they'll kill them while they're going through when they come out of the end of the portal to the safe location. And if they kill them on the safe location, that means the enemy can't go back, because if you remember, we started the portal off the ground. So now if we get the kill, so say we're low in health, we can still probably get the jump on them when they're coming out on the other end. So if we get the kill now, we can kill them and they can't go through the portal. So now it's a 2v3 situation, which has significantly increased our chances of winning the fight. And that's what all pro players do. If that was slightly complicated, just comment in the comment section and I'll break it down for you. But yeah, that's what all pro players do. I always see it. Or they do the advanced version, is what I just said, but they try and end the portal on an enemy so they can fight a 3v2 now. So no, they'll fight, it'll be a 1v2, but then the one person tries to get one of the two. Okay, hold on. So what they do, they try and end the portal on one person. The one person will either go back and 3v1 the person who's on the other end and drop them, and they won't be able to get back through the portal crawling. Or what the one person could do, the Wraith that started the portal, he could try and do a 2v1, try and do as much damage as possible. Or if he goes down, he can go back through the portal, and the two that will fight the Wraith will probably be weak. The two that are safe, that are on the other end of the portal, can go through and fight a 2v2, but it's not a fair 2v2 because the two that are fighting the one are weak now because the Wraith did a lot of damage. So now that's 2v2. So that's an advanced way of, that's an advanced thing that pro players do. But pro players don't really do the kidnapping thing, the 1v2 strategy that I just talked about, because pro players, well, are pro players. So they're not going to try and do a 2v2. Pro players never like to fight fair, because we guys need to remember there's no such thing as a fair fight. In my opinion, a fair fight is when I win. If I didn't win, the fight wasn't fair. And yeah, that's how pro players do. That's how pro players work. They never try and fight fair. They're always trying to get the advantage. That's what they're always trying to use, their abilities, their Gibraltars. So a couple bonus tips you guys need to know is Wraith can cancel a phase and portal. To cancel Wraith's phase, you press your phase button and your portal button at the same time to cancel phase. But if you have your portal at the same time, it will activate the portal So to cancel the portal, you wait for it to activate. Don't move when you activate the portal and release it straight away. This will cancel it. Lastly, with your phase, because what you guys might feel like you know this, but what I've seen a lot of people do, they activate their portal on accident, then they run around and then they release it because they didn't realize they could cancel it. A lot of people don't know that they can cancel their phase and their portal, especially the phase. A lot of people didn't realize they can cancel the phase, but yes, you can do that. Now lastly, this is a big tip, so if you stay to the end, you're welcome. Lastly, with your phase, you can use it to scout. Remember, you can look around whilst in it. So for example, say you're on low health and you're getting chased down, you can look behind you, see what, if he's trying to take a shortcut to get you, then you can double back on yourself and run around and be safe. Or say you heard a noise upstairs, then you can phase, take the zip line, look around quickly and warn your enemies a couple seconds in advance. You ain't got all day now in the phase now, so just remember that. So you want to start your phase roughly when you hear the sound, so just think about that. But if you watched to the end, let me know. Smash the like button 1,000 times. And yeah, hope you enjoyed.